But yeah, everything's pretty good. I keep forgetting you are from Newfoundland. Yeah, I mean, I'm from there, man. I've been there a long time, so I was there almost my whole life. I was a proud Newfoundlander well, I mean, I still am. I come from a place that has a lot of rich culture. That's beautiful. It was very harsh winters though. Have I been to Dildo Brewery? A lot of my family live in Dildo and are from just north of there. Like a large part of them, really, are literally from there. Like I'm not even kidding. I know you guys might laugh, but yeah, I literally have family in Dildo. I have an aunt that teaches in Dildo. I know it sounds funny to a lot of you guys, like Dildo. Like what the hell? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll be real. Like most people from Newfoundland will probably know me. No, I'm not from Dildo. Let's be real. Dildo's a real place. Jimmy Kimmel was the mayor of Dildo at one point. I know he's a little controversial at the moment. But like he was that's like Dildo was on the main stage because of that. Like he was the mayor of Dildo. There was like a whole kind of campaign with that. They like bought the sign that's like the Hollywood sign put up there. It's called Dildo. It's a whole thing. And the funny thing is, my grandfather used to tell me a story about in the town Dildo, there's actually a rock just north of Dildo called Shag Rock. My dad, when he was a kid, and this is the last thing I'll tell you before we go to the community meeting, almost got arrested when he was a kid because he vandalized the sign because it was Dildo, Heart's Desire, Heart's Content, and Heart's Delight. And he said something like he wrote on the sign, screw to your heart's desire, shag to your heart's content, and love to your heart's delight, or something like that. And it was like the biggest deal back in like the 70s or 60s, whatever the fuck it was. It was probably the early 80s actually. And it was like that big deal. It's like a big story whenever I go back home, is that my dad did that to the sign. So as your little piece of humor. Also, my dad was in the Terry Fox movie. Write that down too. If you ever seen the Terry Fox movie, the guy that says, "Ain't it there a little bit chilly, my boy?" That was my dad. Literally, that was my dad. So very funny. Yeah. Filmed in Newfoundland. I can tell you a lot of stories about Newfoundland. I've met the Trailer Park Boys and George Street and everything. But let's get to the community meeting. My 19th birthday, actually, I had a megaphone. We were being idiots, and I ended up meeting Ricky outside. He was outside the Cotton Club, which is a strip club. I wasn't going in there, but it was like my 19th birthday, and I literally on my 19th birthday met Ricky and talked to him out on the George Street and had a beer with him. True story. Nah, okay. No, Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. Infinitely more famous than South. All right, let's do a mic check. Can everyone hear me in the crowd this time? Let's see. I think this time we might have got it. Holy crap. I think we did it. They're saying they can't hear me. Can they hear me in the Discord?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. One day. Hi.
Where am I?
Why are we here?
Where am I, chat? Big
Guys?
M. Where am I?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Did you just troll me? You can tell me the truth.
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Do you want to stream my stream? Because I don't think this worked last time. I don't think I could do Twitch and...
Yeah, I can.
Did it work? Actually, I think it might have worked.
If not,
Yeah, I think it
I
worked.
will be.
Okay.
It's working.
Okay, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the community meeting. This is an exciting one, to be honest with you. I apologize. When I came on full time, I want to do these a little bit more regularly, but there's a lot of catch up to do and a lot of things we had to handle behind the scenes. And it's been worth it, I think, though. We've been doing a lot of really cool stuff, and we're about to do even more cool stuff. The prison update wasn't so long ago, so I think the first thing that you can see from us kind of getting our shop together is the fact that we're able to ship updates faster than we were able to before, and we're only going to get better at it. So, welcome to the thread, the Fear the Thread community meeting. This is our title of our next patch, and we'll get into all that very soon. But we have a bunch of things to go through before we get too far into the presentation. And the first thing I want to get into is a long-standing pain point for Prodigy, which has been the DOJ. But for right now, the big things I want to focus on are first some big changes we're going to make to the DOJ in terms of bringing in new staff, new bodies, new blood,
Judd?
and people we think that we're going to be very capable at
Judd
helping
can
us
do it, but I don't.
put
Judd's
forth the vision
never
that we want
around.
to put forth for Prodigy and the Prodigy DOJ as a whole. First of all, Doomhammer. Some of you guys might know him. He was the Chief Justice on Time to RP. A very good dude, very level-headed, has a lot of time to put into this, has a good head on his shoulder, on the same page with me, and he's going to be excellent to be able to come on and run our DOJ and be around every single day. We were trying a staff Chief of Justice for a long time that wasn't around to like make the judges have autonomy, but it just wasn't working anymore. Next up, we're going to have Judd is going to be joining us as a Deputy Chief Justice, which I think is good to have his experience there and his take on DOJ RP. I think Judd knows how to run a content creator court, and I think that's something that we need some help with, you know. And then we'll have people like Doomhammer at the beginning to help us push forward more checks and balances and accountability. Then Vance. He has atoned for his sins, and we've talked about it. And some of the problems we've had, like in terms of like some of the lawyers and stuff, we've kind of worked out. And Vance overall has been an amazing, good person, has been available for everyone throughout Prodigy, and overall has been a super pro Prodigy judge, has been good for the server. So very happy to welcome Sanjay on as a Deputy Chief Justice as well. I think this trifecta here will be able to help us move forward a lot. I think we've over the last couple of weeks bridged a lot of the gap when it came to the lawyers, the PD, and the DOJ, and I think we're in a good stance going forward here. We'll be looking at expanding the state's attorney's office because it kind of fell apart. I think Cole went overseas, from what I understand, and has gotten busy with that stuff as he's done in the past. So very happy with these changes. I think these are going to be really great. I'm very excited for Doomhammer to have joined our server and as Chief Justice, as well as Judd coming in to help out as Deputy Chief Justice. So I think this will be really cool. Excited to see how this works out. The next things I want to kind of acknowledge about our DOJ. The DOJ and government has really struggled to find its feet on Prodigy. It's for a variety of different reasons. We just haven't had like a lot of people that were very content focused in these positions, outside of like maybe one that I can think of from the mayorship at one point. The police now have been empowered with a number of new powers, and we've hired a number of new judges, and we'll continue to do so over the next week, where we want to really expedite the processing to make there to be some. The police and the DOJ need some teeth. Essentially, this is a big conversation I actually had with a lot of the Chang gang guys and Hutch and some of the PD high command over the last couple of weeks, where we all kind of agree we're kind of at a place where nobody's losing anything, nobody's fearing the police, and we kind of need to shift gears on this. And everyone pretty much agrees. With that, I do want to say is that with the police having new powers, the police also have to get better about accountability, as well as with all the things we're going to be putting on criminals from this meeting today and after today, starting tomorrow, not today. When all these things start tomorrow, the police have to realize that when they go SBS, the consequences of their SBS is very high. And they cannot punitively go after criminals for them matching their energy on SBS. And the police have to understand and be able to differentiate between those two things. It is extremely important. That means people like ZB doing drugs and Hutch or whoever else doing drugs in the Rangers, we're rolling out drug tests. I'm sorry to tell you, those will be coming in the very near future, as well as many other things. We have to make sure that like when we're doing silly stuff, we're matching the consequences to also be silly. And this is something we've talked a lot about and we've gotten better at as a community and as a police force. But I just want to reiterate that that's going to be even more important as we give this extra teeth of the DOJ and the PD. With the PD High Command and DOJ, I've reiterated the importance of immediate story progression. This is something that we've had a lot of problems with. It's like court cases sit for weeks at a time. We have like murder sitting for months or weeks. You know, like that stuff should be going quick. Major raids should be going quick. Quick court filings, trials, all that stuff are things we want to see going really, 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 really fast. because we want that RP to be moving. And yes, Red, you'll be happy to know that I absolutely kicked them all about the Romano stuff like 2 nights ago. So that should be moving as well now. So the first thing I want to talk about is car impounds. With this new patch, we'll be introducing an impound system that is completely integrated into the MDT. The mayor and the PD will be able to change the system, change the point allocations, the fine allocations, everything with this system directly within the MDT. So they'll set the impound. They'll have to wait 5 minutes between setting the impound and then being able to call the tow, so that PD will not be able to content farm and cheese the car impounds, but it gives teeth and life to the city in terms of like there being actual consequences. Car seizures and points. This is something we've been kind of missing for a little time, a little bit of time. So basically what I want you guys to think is 10 points, your car is seized. A point decays after 30 days. So each point, if it's put, is 30 days. Okay. Instant seizures are 10-point offenses for cars as stashed vehicles that would constitute a trafficking charge. So basically what this means, if you have 300, whatever the trafficking is for like cocaine or something in the fucking trunk of your vehicle and you get caught, your car is gone. Because that makes sense. That makes sense, guys. I'm sorry. But if you have that much gear in your cars and you're using it as a loot box, right, and you get caught with that stuff in your car, that was used in the trafficking and it should be seized. And I think that's good. Yeah, seizure is permanent. It's called a seizure. Built-in MDT and mechanics, like I said, we have the hard-coded delay, and PD can warrant requests for the seizure, so those will be checked and balanced also by the court system. So it will not be immediate, the seizure, but it'll be there, right? It'll be good. So here's kind of a breakdown of what we're looking at immediately. This is all subject to change, just to be clear. I did get a lot of feedback from talking to Kevin even this morning in terms of like some of these we had a little bit too much, but basically drug calls for, and remember, the cops need to catch you with your car. So this is not that bad, right? They need to catch you for this offense and with the car, right? But just think about it this way though, like if someone is caught with your car doing the offense, you also get the points. Yeah, don't get caught, essentially. So 2 points there for drug calls. This is from a dealing. For like a felony chase you get caught from, 2 points. Gang shootouts is 3 points. Most people never get caught from like active, like this is for convoys, that type of thing. Smaxney, what did you do here? If gang point shootouts, okay, he's deleting it. He's removing the evidence of what he did to my slide. Are you seeing this in real time? Smaxney is actually deleting the evidence that he fucked up the slide. Did you guys not see that? As soon as I said it, it's just like changing, like it didn't happen. Street racing's 3. Mostly no one ever gets caught for street racing. If you're caught with illegal car parts, 3 points, plus they strip the parts. They're already doing that with the stripping of parts. Heist calls, escaping is 4 points. Smuggling calls, so this is like gun smuggling, cocaine smuggling, that type of stuff is 5 points. I think that originally was 10 points, by the way. We got feedback, maybe that's too much. And this stuff is subject to change, by the way. Like we're not firm on these yet. We'll see how it goes by tomorrow, and then we're going to be a little lenient over the first week, and we're going to use the information we get. Like, okay, we would have seized that. Should we have seized that? And then we'll adjust it. Interrupting raids is like 5 points. Breakouts are 5 points. Courthouse violence is 10 points because that's pretty serious, and we don't take that serious enough on the server. And trafficking, which is the one I talked about in the prior slide, is 10 points. Next topic we have to talk about are the helicopter seizures. The original agreement I had with everyone is that 3 strikes, you're out on helicopters. And for some reason, that's not happening. So I've reiterated to PD and ATC that we're putting points on helicopters. There's going to be 4 points for a helicopter. You're shot down 3 times, your helicopter's gone. Because the helicopter meta is out of control on the server. PD has been reiterated to make sure helicopters are being seized. Helicopters parking at gang blocks. Now, this is a big one I want to point out. Will be impounded and have 2 points applied. If you're putting helicopters at gang blocks, I don't care how many times you decide to try to shoot ATC, I will tell the cops to come for your house, your gang warehouse, your cars, everything, if that happens. Leave Rambo Ramrod alone. You can't. We're not going to allow this stuff. Yeah, this is. Yeah, you see where this is. This is Jordan, by the way. He did you dirty. But I actually didn't
That's
take
me,
this one. I
that's
just
me,
noticed.
that's
Oh, this
me.
is you. Yeah, this is literally the CG block. This is fucking funny. Okay, that actually is funny. I didn't notice until now. But yeah, if you're going to be parking helicopters there, expect them to get impounded. Expect PD to press you on it, and they should. They should be pressing you on it. I want that to be very clear. House seizures. I want to make sure this is clearly outlined for the community so you understand. If you're caught with full drug, like primarily houses that have a ton of drug manufacturing, trafficking, it's going to be seized. There's no guilty verdict required, and the Fourth Amendment is the only defense that you have on these. The Fourth Amendment is unlawful search and seizure. And we need this. We need it because right now there's a housing shortage and people are hoarding stuff and never losing their houses for doing things. And we need to like rotate out houses for the people that are doing that stuff. The mayor's office. This is a big one. We have a mayor election today, or sorry, this week. We have the debate tonight. After the next election, the mayor's office is going to completely control the COC. So the COC, for those who don't know, the cock or the BBC used for the Better Business, whatever, is all a Better Business Commission. All of that stuff was controlling where things go on the map in terms of businesses, etc. It's been really tough for us to lock that down. So I'm shifting that back to the mayor's control. But I'm also going to put a dedicated developer on player businesses and a dedicated staff member that will assist the mayor, which will be Leah Lovin. And the other big change to the mayor's office that we want to do is give them a lot more power and things is we're going to let the mayor's office control ATC and its appointments, DOC and its appointments, and EMS and its appointments. So air traffic control, Department of Corrections, and the EMS. And I think this is great RP power that's going to be really cool. That'll be good for the mayor. This is going to be really cool, especially having the dedicated developer, which brings me kind of to my next points on player businesses. The problem we've had with player businesses is a lot of players just bring us stuff that are just completely unrealistic, right? They didn't put thought into it outside of, I want to do something that's really overcooked, right? They suggest things often to us that are like way too powerful. They're not in line with the development that's on the server. Like if you're looking for a player business and you want mechanical help, you should be researching what we're doing, right? You should be looking at how to complement that, not to railroad or destroy our development. And that's the problem with a lot of suggestions is people try to railroad or destroy our development with their business idea. So they have an exclusive plug in the market to get rich or to be indispensable. And unfortunately, that's not healthy for the server. And we're not going to do that. So we will shut those things down. People ask for far too many custom assets, and they expect a business just for making a PowerPoint. And I'm sorry, but I made a PowerPoint today and I didn't get a business. Maxney tidied up my PowerPoint. He didn't get a business, and that shouldn't get me a business. The reality is that PowerPoints can be AI generated and they don't show role playability. We want people that are going to make content out of these business ideas. That's what we want. We don't want someone who is plain as fucking cardboard or paper and coming and giving us a business idea or giving you a business for that. It is not good for the server. It's not good for me. It's not good for the content of the server. So I don't care for those types of proposals. You will not get a business if you can't role play at a good level. This should be for top tier role players on our server. And that's what player businesses should be. People are going to bring life and content to our server and for other people and not just for themselves. Business ideas should try to use mechanics that we have, should complement the existing mechanics that are already there, and they should be based around actual recurring RP. You don't just get to show up one day, yeah, I really want to make a mechanic shop. I love a mechanic shop. Yeah, I'm going to make a mechanic shop. No, dude, you go to the mechanic shop. You hold events in the mechanic shop. You go around, you do market research. You make you go and look for investors and have like business presentations. You make events. You do all sorts of stuff. You do role play around it. Do role play around trying to go and meet a supplier. Like anything. Like do like the build-ups to this stuff. I'm sorry. Like, that's what we require. We require you to do work. We don't require. We're showing up with a PowerPoint and just saying I want to do something once or twice or once every week is not recurring role play. It should be a daily thing for you. ATC and PD is the next big thing. ATC, I will talk to you about this as well. ATC will no longer shoot down helicopters. We're going to remove the buzzard. Failed experiment. They're just being farmed at this point. PD will handle all circumstances of shooting down helicopters. PD will handle that completely. And PD will work with ATC to properly warn and initiate before engaging in aerial fights unless the suspect helicopter is already violent. I think this is important for our server. It's just been a mockery for too long now, and we can't let it continue to happen. There's a lot of good role play in ATC, the training, the licensing. They don't need to be up in a buzzard. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Also, PD is going to be able to put out a helicopter at a time, meaning that it's not one helicopter to one situation. If you're going around a helicopter and you're shooting down PD, another helicopter will be deployed after you blow up the first one and will be coming at you, because there needs to be intensity, and that's just the way it is on a server. And this is it. This is what is happening. Huts and judgments. So the huts, for those who don't know, are hold until trials and judgments. We have a real problem lately of people deciding not to show up to court cases and then things being ping-ponged down the road forever and a day. Judges, I've told them very clearly that if people don't do this, Dundee, you summary judgment. They get the charge. This would happen to you in real life. You get the charge. You get the charge. So people who do that are just going to get the charge. That's it. And that's how it has to go. And players will be forced to huts who are making mockery in general out of the court process and not attending to court proceedings. So, like, if you breach your bail requirements and stuff like that, right? Like Siglo last night, I think, shot someone, got put away, back to hut. Like, you will be forced to hut in those. And then, obviously, with the new justice and everything, we will expedite your way to a trial. But yes, in general, like, people like Dundee are a good example, because I know he doesn't mind me making an example of it. Is like, if you have a character that's anti-court, anti-government, and is never going to go to court or try to make a mockery out of the court because it's a character trait, there needs to be a mechanism to deal with those characters. Right? And that is that you should be summary judgment and forced to hut. But the trial should be very,
I don't know if they're gonna bring up the ankle monitor, but they said they were working on it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be implemented right away.
I think this is a very important change for our justice system. Housing availability. Multiple houses will be seized and have been seized as of this moment, because there's a bunch of people not logging in or not paying their maintenance, etc. And we're being very diligent about this now. And I'm not giving people warnings because, well, honestly, I need the housing real estate for people that are going to actually log on and not come in just to pay their maintenance. So those are gone. Tons of housing will be added throughout the map on our next patch. And several new realtors have been hired and shuffled out, etc. And duty requirements are being pushed, meaning that people who skate as a realtor, you know who you are, and you don't come on, you don't log on duty. I have the full logs. There's no defending it now at all. You're done. I have all the logs. They've been reviewed. You're done for. This is not we're not giving you a performance evaluator or, performance improvement plan. You didn't show up to work. You didn't provide role play for the people there in the whitelist. So now we're going to rotate people out and put people who actually do in. No offense, just the way it's going to be. So Leah's already been working on that, and we'll continue on for the rest of the day, hiring more people. And
I think the coke shit might be public too.
There'll be over 100 houses put back into the market. So this will be good for a lot of the people coming over from time too. People that come over from Prestige, etc. This is a really good time to get started on Prodigy.
You see what I mean, though? Like, people just want stuff, and then they won't even log in.
Here,
but they'll be the first to complain.
A lot of criminals going, my God, Prodigy is super pro PD. Oh my God, they're a PD server now. They're turning into a PD server. Clip it, ship it, put it on roleplay clips, RP Central, get that stuff, put it out there. No, our server is incredibly pro crim and crim skewed. Okay. The problem is I want to talk about a cultural problem on our server in general right now, is the fact that this top bold, be smart. Okay. I want this to be the criminals. I know it's gonna be hard for a lot of you. Okay. I'm looking at, a certain Chang gang members. You know who you are. I'm looking at 90% of ESB. You know who you are. I'm looking at the 100% of the Southside Wizards. I'm looking at like 98% of Hades, including Cider. I'm just saying, be smart. Be smart. That's all this stuff we're implementing here It's common sense stuff. And all we're doing is asking you guys to role play. Use fake plates. Use VIN scratches or local cars, right? VIN scratches, especially with this update, are much more prominent, much easier. Use proxies to run your business or own your house. Also, I'm rolling back the COC charges as a day so the mayor can go and make new regulations for businesses and have that freedom to be able to do it. Be smart. It's not hard to understand. And for a proxy to own your house, this is another thing for a lot of the shitter gangs out there. And I know who you are because I've looked you up, that have gotten proxies who don't log on, that own your house for you because they just don't log on. Just someone you've flown in to own your house. We will deal with you. Don't do that stuff. Do role play. There's loads of civilians on the server that need RP and that enablement and that fun. Use them. Use them. None of this stuff is crazy, guys. All I'm asking for, we've given more power. The government needs to be strong because that's the part of Prodigy that we're at right now, is that we needed to make the place really enjoyable to play for a long time. But now we're at a point where our community's mature. The players that play on our server have been here a long time. We're at the, a very far along in a patch cycle. What we need is people to start respecting the government on Prodigy because that's what we're missing to make the RP more interesting on the server on a day-to-day basis, is the government and Prodigy and the DOJ and the PD. We need those things now to be strong so that we can have better role play across our server. Let me explain something to you as someone who's been at this a very long time. And I'm sure people like Kevin or Rami or Hutch or anyone else who's been at this long, a lot of the old hands that are probably here watching this, the thing that viewers get excited about and what players get excited about is the fear of like what the streamer or the character is going to happen to them, right? If there's never any risk or anything that that character sees or the streamer is going to see, it takes away all of the speculation. It takes away all of like the pins and needles sitting on the edge of your seat, the anticipation of what's going to happen next. It takes away the thing that so many people love and enjoy about roleplay. And that's the part of the server right now that we are missing and we need to improve upon. And I need the criminals of the server to realize that and be like, damn, that's a good point. These changes are actually fucking good for my content. They're good for me to grow as a streamer. They're good for viewers to be interested enough, not just to click on my stream and wonder what's going to happen to my character, but for the other guy that it's at my size of 200 or 300 viewers or maybe 100 viewers or 50 viewers. For that dude, that makes a difference for them too, because what ends up happening is those viewers then go to that perspective to go and check it out as well. This is something that helps build up viewership, interest, not only in the city, right, between players and characters, but among viewers, and helps everyone grow. This is important. And I know a lot of people at first glance on these things sometimes like, oh, they're just trying to fuck us. No, actually, what I'm trying to do is to make all of your streams grow, your enjoyment on the server to grow, for you to have amazing, cool stories that are in front of you that have intrigue, that have plot twists, that have levity, so that you feel when you play in here that things can be a big deal, right? That when your character goes down that arc, it's a big deal. And yeah, sitting in jail sometimes can fucking suck. But the reality is that journey to getting there, that journey of the tenseness, the story, the buildup and everything, you can't beat that from a content perspective. I'm sorry. 2 days or 3 days in jail in a jail system we just completely redone is a dream for all the content, the viewership, and the story, and the fun that gets generated from having these extra stakes. Seriously. It's a big deal. And this is the part of the server where we're at. We need to push this stuff. Let's talk about the factions. Lessons learned and improvements. We weren't perfect with the factions. The factions ended off good, but there was like lulls and things we could have did a lot better, right? This was a huge learning thing for me. I was at the tail end of my job in like busy season before I came on full time with Loaded at the beginning of August, which you saw me have an uptick, but then other people had jobs, other people had things they had to do. And we just didn't have the tools to make this as cool as we wanted to do, because we couldn't be on 8 hours a day. Not all the factions, and we shouldn't have had to be, but that was the expectation. It was our first run at this. And we were trying to get the culture of the server to a place where we can help do this. The problem became is that people relied on us for their RP. But that's not good, right? We can't make people rely on the DMs for the roleplay. You know, it should be to give you threads to create roleplay. So this brings us to our first change we've made for the faction system.
I'm not gonna lie, I was closing my eyes, but
a lot of people just honestly weren't interested in participating, and honestly,
need more active civ proximity business.
Weren't worth the DM time, if I want to be honest.
What?
And the event time that we had to put into them, because they just created zero role play and just were not interested in doing that. No, I just have no interest anymore of enabling those people. And those people really had no interest in being part of the faction system anyway. So the problem we had also with this is a lot of people just didn't have an ability to get a table, were locked out of mechanics, and we didn't know every gang on the server, no matter how much we tried or tried to maintain it. So we've made it so that to get in and be in the faction system to participate in mechanics, you do not need a table. You can be unaffiliated now in the faction war. Will you have the cool faction theme stuff? You will not, but you will have the ability to participate, do the gang missions, and be able to fill, which is good. This is good because right now you're not forced to participate with this new system.
Like I'll be listening, but my eyes be closed.
Forced to have to give group support that aren't going to do anything with it, that are just looking for handouts. So yeah, basically what I just said here, we made a specific track for gang mechanics without having to be part of a faction. The amount of gangs also was very overwhelming for the staff. At the beginning, we had like 15 to 20 per faction, and that was pretty steady throughout the entire thing. Sure. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you have to quest give 20 people, and people are expecting something once a week or more than once a week, which is kind of crazy. You know, it's unsustainable. We want to focus on groups that want to create content or create story. So we want to focus on the content creators of the server and the people who want to create story on the server. The people, listen, there's a point we're at in GTA where the reality is that we have a large amount of people that aren't interested in big storylines. They're interested to come in and play a character on a day in, day out basis, which is okay, you know, because that's part of what GTA roleplay is in 2025, is that we've appealed to like a very wide audience. We won't waste our times on groups that just want handouts. This was also a big thing we had, is people just wanted loot drops all the time, which wasn't great. We've made the pass a lot better this time. I will say that straight up. Like, we've made it very good. The rewards are very good from the battle pass itself. So there's like a reason to like level up and even contribute to your faction. Allow lists are going to be reserved for gangs that are creating story, which means they'll be involved in these storylines. We're gonna have theme. Last time we kind of went really generic, right? But like, what were the best storylines of the faction? It was the stuff that was like heavily themed and like really like story driven. It wasn't the cliche. It wasn't the, you know, the cliche of it. We really themed the content. You'll see that in a little bit. And our faction theme missions will be filled first. This is so anything we have PvP related now for content, basically there'll be faction theme, faction versus faction, but we will prioritize the factions in the queue, but then we'll fill with unaffiliated gangs. So unaffiliated gangs will be able to participate, but they'll just Jamaica. One faction, but we have the other one, we'll let the unaffiliated.
I don't know what we're gonna do with the Jamaicans, man.
We'll just fill both on unaffiliated factions, right? That's how we're gonna deal with PvP mechanics. The server events, big problems we had. There would be a lot of gremlins that would just show up for loot only or fly in people. We were doing Q boost to be really inclusive. And basically we were just Q boosting everyone to be inclusive and let people come and participate. So we were kind of getting abused by people who never showed up and would ruin the events. So I wrote gremlins. Bad actors ruin these events, and we've coded around this for the future. We did some really cool stuff, which I'll show you in a little bit. But we'll only cater to people who have RP'd in the storylines, basically, from here on out, in general, with all of these things. That's kind of what we want to do. We understand people can't be on all the time, but if you haven't been on or tried to log on in 30 days and you're trying to get boosted into an event, it's not going to happen. Proper staffing. I have employed a number of event staff just to help fill the gaps for all time zones now, to help me with distributing stories to not just faction storylines, but a bunch of other things, anything you can really think of. I've enlisted some high tier role players that I will not. Actually, I'm going to reveal one of them to help with the faction storyline. So, some of you guys might know Corey Hossford. Haas. You guys all remember him? Remember that name, okay? Because I've enlisted him to be big. He used to run the World's End, and Haas is an amazing storyteller. And he is one of the people that I've enlisted, one of many that are phenomenal role players to come and put a lot of time into this. I'll reveal the next over a little bit, but you're going to be really excited about some of the people I've managed to grab. So we've made an event menu. And this is something that I'm working on for the past like month and a half or so, where we have Miatek and Explo really cooked on this based on a spec I gave them. I saw a lot of the problems in trying to make these quick events. Like, it was really monotonous and heavy. It took a long time to get them. I had to ask admins to come and help build the scenes that I had the vision for, because it was just too difficult for me to do with the commands that we had. And this event menu is super, super detailed. Like, we can give this in part or in pieces to people in terms of the permissions we grant. You can set up like shooting events. You can shoot up full, like makes full civilian events with propping. You could do PD basic trainings with propping that you can turn on and off and use for whenever. You could make 15 events if you wanted to, that you wanted to pre-can to give the other groups in one night. And then you can turn them all off and then turn it on as you need each one. And not only that, you can edit the events together. So if like I wanted to do an event with Rami or Kevin, or if I wanted to do just say me and Hutch wanted to go and train the PD with a tactical thing like red versus blue, I could go with Hutch and Gav, and like me and him, Hutch and Gav could go in and like just add walls and barriers and all sorts of stuff on both sides of an area, and we could edit it together at the same exact time, turn it off, and then when it comes to the event, click a button and it's back on and appears there. We can easily copy and paste peds that are armed with don't attack one side or whatnot. It is very cool and is very involved. We have stashes that we can put for event people, that they can have stashes that even have items that expire in 30 minutes or a week or 2 weeks, right? We also did a thing where we can pre-do loadouts. Loadouts are basically a separate inventory from yours that overtakes your inventory, that can give you a gun and armor plates and stuff like that. And we can make that last for an hour, and you can't be looted, and people can't loot box you. And if you're going to do an event for a faction, you're loaded out with no risk to lose anything, so that we can have things that are very story driven without all of the bullshit that comes with it in terms of the fear and everything else. So we have low stress conflict. This stuff is big and is going to enable the hell out of all of our role players here and role play gangs. Which brings me to my next thing, racing storylines. We've been cooking on this for a while, so I've been like, how do we bring this back in a way that's good? So I think you guys remember Haas that we've had, that I just referenced. Haas is going to help me with this into the faction line. Now, one of the big pieces of feedback I got is that the racers felt too ingrained in the gang part of it. So what we've done is, how do we include people in the overarching server storylines without, well, we separate them from where all the gangs go, and we put them in a different place. But also, we need to be able to put individuals in factions and just not gangs. So that's what we did. We have the ability to bring just individuals in. So if we want to give an individual a whitelist instead of a gang a whitelist, we can do that. We want to bring in racers to race for one of the factions, we can do that. We've segmented racers away that removes the gangs, but includes them in the overarching global storyline. We have multiple racing hubs instead of one. There won't be just one factory for all racers, and there will be racing-centric dungeon masters. That, like, Haas is a guy, like, what's the racing group? Where's Shots at? Shots would know. I forget the group Haas is a part of. He's part of, like, he's doing Fuel Fest in Dallas, right? He customizes cars and drift cars in real life. Like, this guy knows his shit. Plus, he does roleplay. These are the type of people that we need doing these type of stories that are like endemic to these scenes, that like people are going to be like, it's cool to go to this guy who knows about cars. Yeah, one of his cars is in Forza. Yeah, he is. He's 100% legit. I went to go buy a car the other day, and he sent me a video on Discord, and he was like, hey, Rav, you want this car? This car? You want that car? You want this car? Want that car? Spoiler alert, guys, I couldn't afford any of those cars. I couldn't afford any of them. Also, we're going to have the return of stage 2s going out widespread for A's and S's. We'll give that approval out tomorrow for the garages. And then 3s, I do not want a Jeep Cherokee. I'm a Jeep Wrangler guy, first of all, and I just bought a Silverado 1500, just for the record. So, and then we're going to do 3s for the A's and S classes. One of the things, we've done some changes here to make it so now you have to bring your stage 3s away from the racing place and get them installed by someone at one of the garages. The problem that you're going to run into, though, is that it's going to be highly illegal to do that. So you're going to have to find someone who wants to break the law and get into a lot of fucking trouble by installing those parts on your car. I got a 3-liter diesel. My Chev is going to be fine. I didn't get one to bad engines. We're good. All right. Rules and discipline. We're going to go over some stuff, some big things that have been a problem within the server. And I'm debating whether or not I show you the video that I asked Kevin's meta chat to put together for me, and they did. It kind of like makes a compilation, and like every major gang is in it that shows the biggest problems. And I might actually show it to you because it's actually horrible what's going on in the server. And it's not just one person's problem. It's a systemic problem within our server, which is, let's go through this first before we get into that. Who handles discipline? Swal and Yager are in charge of discipline for our server. I want that to be, they are the people who make the calls. And then above them is Delu, but Delu does more big picture of the public server and other things for me. Swal and Yager are the discipline people. Okay? I want that to be very clear. Sneakerhead is in charge of ban appeals. Okay? I need people to understand this because I have not dealt directly with discipline since I joined Loaded full time. And that's by design. And I'm not going to, because I need to be removed from any bias or anything that I may inherently have from dealing with the overall server stuff in general. Like I deal with development, I deal with pushing in-game storylines, etc. I've removed this from my plate completely. And it's just too much drama. I don't touch it all. And the admins need autonomy to be able to do their thing. Okay? The only thing I do is if I see like major things happening within the server, I'm like, what are we doing about this? Are we doing anything about that? Are we doing anything about this? That's it. So people who are coming to me about discipline things, I need you to understand too, I haven't directly dealt with reports outside of like higher level stuff since probably even like February. Very rare, the reports I actually dealt with. And I was only called in when my expertise was needed. So I need people to try to separate me from the discipline because I don't do that. And I have no plan to do it at all. I have to focus on the overall health of the server. And it's better if I don't touch it. So, touch metagaming Carmen on Saturday. Good, because Carmen deserves to be metagamed. Okay. The first thing. Now, war convoys. We are putting our foot down on the arena hop out, fighting in convoys. No, don't say hate. See, okay, so here we go. Ahem. Stand by. Now, you guys did this. You guys did this to yourselves. It to yourselves. I'm only going to show this on stream because it's too hard to do. Let me see. All right. Here's your viewing experience. Here's your viewing experience. Thanks to Kaban's meta chat, by the way. Thanks to Kaban's meta chat, by the way. I'm not sure if stream can even hear Okay, so first major gang.
Shit, these guys,
Okay,
man.
I want you guys to see what's happening here. People are regularly and routinely using cars to knock people down as they're exiting vehicles or getting out. People down as they're exiting vehicles. Not getting out. It's fine. This isn't to like make anyone feel bad. I'm not going to do to anything. This isn't to like make anyone feel bad. I'm not going to do to anything to anyone from this. I want that to be really clear. We got Chang gang next.
Go. Yep,
Right.
there you go. They like that
My
shit,
point to show here is like this stuff that we have going on the server right now, everyone is doing it. Like there's not one side or one that isn't. Like we're ramming people, knocking cars over, they get out with a gun to have an advantage, right? This is happening. No one's seeing my screen in Discord. Yeah, Taco's not on there. Oh, this is gonna be a great compilation right here.
Right here, right
Hey,
here.
Gio?
Right here, that yellow paragon, that paragon, that paragon. That white and black paragon.
Hey, Gio.
Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
So, yes, I want to be clear that this is the problem that we have right now. Is like, this isn't
That was a
a
random
one
kill.
gang problem.
This was a second
Every
ago, so this
gang
was
is
a
doing this shit right now, and it's not okay. We need to clean this up because it just looks bad on the server. Everyone's doing it, guys.
Okay, I'm coming.
This is not. Last night, the reason why I felt this is important because everyone came to my last. Like, they were just sending me clips of Hades over and over and over and over again. And while I don't agree that Hades or any other group is doing this stuff, the reality is that every group on the server is doing it, and we have to acknowledge that. This stuff is just stupid. Just look what this look. It looks stupid, guys. Is this what we want our server to be? Do we want this to be what our server is?
There's only one on here.
Oh, hell no.
Like seriously, I could put clown music on this, guys.
What is going on?
This is
Yo,
not
I
what
need
we
help. I'm
want.
at fucking Ring of Fire. I'm all alone.
This is stupid.
Yo, I hate
And I
this
need to
system.
be
I
really
hate this
clear to
system.
everyone that like.
I hate this system so
Also,
much.
now you're gonna see the GTAV
Bro.
compilation. By the way, this guy flops like you wouldn't believe. Like every clip I got sent last night was Geo literally on the ground for spam tasing. The spam tasing problem on the server was essentially Geo just dying and getting farmed all the time, and one ESP member running in and getting tased in front of 7 cops over and over. Just to be clear.
Bro, what?
Look, here's another one. Ramming the cars, people get out. This is the meta right now for what people are doing.
What the
Right here
fuck
is this
is
shit.
that?
Ramming the cars, and then they get out and they have the advantage immediately, right? Over and over and over and over again. Look,
no,
just
wait,
look.
let him get up, let him get
Like,
up,
this
let him
is
get up, let him get up.
blatant
Shoot him now.
VDM, right?
Let him
On
get
one
up, shoot
part.
him down.
On another part, they're exploiting and abusing
Steady,
game
steady,
mechanics, and it's just
I hate him
really
because I
bad
didn't- I
culture for
didn't
the
think it was
server.
gonna
Like people chasing each other across the
This
server,
fight,
going in these
ooh, they
circles with these
ran.
convoys.
But now
It's
we
really
know
bad
they're
for the
not
health
gonna
of the
stop
server.
it. So why the fuck are we gonna stop it?
What is
We'll
this one?
Return the favor to mob, bro. That's
This is a
all it
meme.
is.
I didn't watch
I'm
this
giving the
part.
boys all the leeway to ram the fuck out of them. I don't give a fuck anymore. If they're doing it, we'll
Video's
fucking
loud.
do it
I
too.
can turn it down.
Heavier.
I didn't know it was loud. I can't hear it.
They stole radio. They stole radio.
Oh, here we go.
Radio, let's switch.
What's up, South? Oh man, can we get a replay?
They rammed him. They warlorded him. They stole radio. They stole radio. Honest time they took radio. Let's switch.
Fine.
That makes me feel good. I'm not gonna lie.
Rammed him. They warlorded him.
That like makes me feel relief seeing South get bodied like that. But I think the thing I want to really spell out to you guys is the fact that this stuff looks bad.
Oh, I wasn't there. I didn't.
It's not the thing we want to see, and we will be implementing an arena hop-outs rule at some point. But more importantly, let's look at this here. We have the warlording. Okay, this is a rule on the server. It's updated on the website. Forcing another player into a disabled or down state through non-lethal mechanics such as ramming with a vehicle, repeated tackling, or use of stun mechanics like tasers for the purpose of executing them while incapacitated is strictly forbidden. Running a player down with a car to knock them over, then finishing them with a firearms, an example, and tasing a player to drop them, then immediately shooting them while stunned. This goes for PD, this goes for Crims, this goes for everyone. Warlording is not allowed on Prodigy. It's bad. It's bad. It needs to stop. We need to get better about this for the betterment of our server, and everyone's doing it. The purpose of that video, guys, was not to call people out in general, but to show that every major gang in our server is doing this shit. We need to fix it for the betterment of Prodigy in general. So to take that away from here, and the reason I feel comfortable showing that video to our community is I know a lot of these guys are going to laugh about it. Yeah, you're right. And I'm confident that everyone's going to take that on the back. So let's fix this stuff. I'm telling the admins, this arena mentality, like ramming people, tossing people around, playing bumper car shit needs to stop. Period. Period. With a period at the end. You know, period. Okay. Let's go back through turf for a second. Turf is something that's being abused as well. Turf, if you're against PD, it does not apply to PD. You cannot turf rule PD. You'd never have been able to do that on Prodigy ever. Ever. So whoever's doing the mental gymnastics and spreading that around, stop it, because it's happening everywhere. You also cannot lead people to your turf. That's not how turf works. It's explicitly stated in the rule. You cannot lead people to your turf. If you're in conflict, you are to the 5 if you're not on your turf. The end. The turf rule only applies to people who are on your block at the time. You cannot enter your turf to go over limits. So if the fight started and you go back to your turf, you're done. Ravage, how'd you make the ramming thing about every gang? It's Hades and only Hades every single fight for over a year. Everyone's doing it. I just showed you a freaking compilation of everyone doing it. No matter if Hades started it or fucking CG started it or whoever started it, I don't give a shit. Shut the fuck up and stop doing it. That's the point. This is about the overall community health. It's not about your favorite streamer. It ain't about any of that. It's literally about the fact that this stuff is bad for the server and it needs to stop. I don't give a shit who started it. I give a shit that it ends. So that's what I care about. Next up, relevant breaking character. Accusations and drama mongering in game will result in a ban. I want to be very clear that, like, I've reiterated this to admins. This stuff stops. This was never allowed on Prodigy. We made a hard line on this. Stop. Your out of character bitching has no place on the server at all. Period. Don't do it. An RP server. Okay. Next up, this is a big one. Public server. I have been requested by the public staff. They want to have a wipe for the new patch, so that will be coming in. It's pretty standard for public servers. Public servers wipe pretty regularly. We have managed a long time without a wipe, so I think the public server is pretty good. That's only for the public server, not the allow list. The Brazil server. We are wiping the Brazil server, and it will be operating at a 2x XP and economy server. Going forward, that will happen on October 3rd, it looks like. If that delays, I'll let you guys know, but that's the sitting date at the moment, and that will be coming fast for Brazil. I think this is much better for Brazil. Brazil, it does much better with a faster pace, I think, than other servers, and it'll wipe pretty regularly, the Brazil server, by the way, so that the Brazil staff will be able to keep things going. Also, something we'll be trialing as well here is that Gab's cars will be the whole house thing. Okay, so Suki, so on the public server, the thing I will tell you, this is good for people who want to get a house. This only makes it better for you, to be honest. It clears it up. Well, it clears up a lot of the stuff. So anyway, Brazil, this will be a good thing for Brazil. Also, the Brazil server, because it has such a big racing scene in general, we'll be introducing Gab's cars here for an ability to purchase. We have permission from all of the necessary parties, including Rockstar, TabX, etc., for that to happen in Gabs. So that'll be happening on the Brazil server, and I think that will do quite a bit to help Brazil, because Brazil is so big on racing in general that I think that's going to be a good thing. So we got that. Which brings us to the next thing. Are you guys ready? Are you guys fucking ready?
Los Santos is a funny place. Has beautiful views, silence in places you'd least expect it, and things always have a way of coming full circle. And with every step you take towards the top for power, there's always a chance you'll drown. You can think you're the biggest fish in the pond and that you've got a seat at the big boys table, but it just has a chance of just blowing up in your face when you least expect it. Or you just get chopped up into tiny fucking pieces.
What the hell is that? Chatterbox? Warehouse robberies are back. Huge chat.
Huh. Huh. Are we hyped?
Shit about to get crazy.
Are we hyped? This is live on YouTube and X. People want to try to
About to
dissect
get
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, pretty cool, I think. But yeah, someone asked if something is AI. Everything there is done by our team. Everything. Literally everything. Even the thumbnail. That was done in Blender. So yeah, pretty cool, right?
Super
I think it's
cool.
gonna be pretty fucking sick, to be honest. There's a lot of cool things in that trailer. I don't even want to get to trying to spoil anything. It's pretty cool.
So
It's pretty cool.
good. So good. We get like updates every 3 months is amazing.
Yeah. So the thing, I guess we're at the point where I'm going to show off probably the show off the event menu or just take questions. I think maybe I'll just take questions. I think the event menu will spell itself out in the next days. So, yeah. So yeah, I guess let's start as usual in our process. You tag Ravage. No, do not ask me any questions about future businesses. I said everything that needs to be said. It'll be handled by the mayor and Leah, and there will be dedicated dev with the mayor and Leah, and will not be done by me. So do not ask me anything about future businesses. I spelled everything out you need to know already. But tag me with your question, and Wally J. Okay, you can ask that question. Go ahead.
I think it's also worth to remember everybody that the factions are being cleaned with the patch, so please clean your storages, take out the garages from your houses. They gonna be gone if they've been used for the organizations.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, are tables going to disappear from the houses? Or how will that work now?
There will be an interesting mechanic in place for that. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, thank you.
Okay. You know, put him down in the crowd. People ask about EMS. I have no interest in doing combat EMS. Sorry. Yeah, you obviously need to submit your business application for the new mayor. How are they going to get it? Don't hurt me for asking, but any ATM private police cars, it'll be coming in the very near future. I'm not answering questions on the public wipe. That's all going to be Delu and the public team. That's their request. They're the ones running that. Are there any general metrics on how much housing will enter the market and whether or not anything is being done to keep it reasonable and affordable? I mean, we have limits on it, but it's all player run. The loan system is what makes it reasonably affordable. Any plans for new faction? No, we're delaying the Sweden and regional updates because in the last ones, they've been spoiled by the regional servers. So we're going to delay those by a couple of days. The blowtorch drops. Maxley, can we give any hints on that for boosting chests?
I really like the Horde mode. I was recently very long testing the Horde mode, which is coming tomorrow, and I have some blowtorches in my inventory.
Okay, there you go. That's good. Will PD be getting any alternatives to stress? SIGs are rough to pop. Yeah, there's something on the way for PD with that. How's the racing story going to be looking like going forward? Is it handled strictly by one team? No, it's going to be a bunch of people are going to be helping run, and then
I think Michigan. I still think
the storyline.
I think cops are still going to abuse
Time
it.
for usual government
Keep it
pay
a buck.
question. Any plans to increase the pay? Not at the moment. Well, there's some great updates for crims. Can we look forward to updates for civilians? There's stuff for civilians in every update, especially in this one. You civilians will have a lot actually to integrate into the greater faction storyline. I didn't talk about it too much, but there is a direct link for you guys to be very useful. Can you say something about the trailer? I'm not. No, you have to type it out, and then I'll decide if you can get up or not. So, say something outrageous with a bunch of partnered streamers watching and them getting POS'd. I want to ask something about dealerships. Can we set up the limit? No, we're not doing anything with the limit for cars at dealerships at the moment. Yes, everyone will have the ability to showcase their RP, obviously. Especially with the way anyone can have their gang on the app again. That will be a big thing. Also, like turf on the gangs is not going to be there on the map anymore. So we've removed that. Also, a lot of like more shadow gangs will be able to participate. Any plans to add working in Blaine County? We could add a working hospital Blaine County. I don't mind that. The South has a question. Okay, that's the one I should be worried about. Terms of service.
Okay. Hello, am I here?
Yep.
Oh, hey, I didn't expect you to pull in so soon. With the convoy thing, I just had a couple questions. I actually have a couple questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the convoy thing, is that like a... Listen, I'm not one to do 5-car convoys, right? I mean, I don't do stuff like that, but is that like a thing that we're just saying no to? Or is
You
that just,
don't
like,
do
read of the
stuff
room?
like that?
Well, maybe like once or twice, but like not seriously though, like not a serious thing, right? Like it wasn't a serious thing.
I mean, listen, give me less than a minute. I can find a clip of you doing it.
So there may have been like a one thing, but we're trying to get away from that, right? So that's good. That's good.
I think the whole server needs to be away from it, to be honest. It's like not a one group thing. That was kind of my point. Everyone started doing it. It becomes the meta because you have to answer it, right? When this stuff becomes the meta. It's like, why do you use a helicopter? It's because the convoys. Why do you guys ram people over? It's because of it's because people are convoying, and that's the way that you get around it is you ram them and you get out and you shoot to have the advantage. But this all stuff compounds because it becomes the meta of the server.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. No, I'm fully on board, and I'm totally in on that. As far as like the plugs thing, is that like a? I'm assuming that's just gonna be reworked in the new stuff going on.
It'll be all done through story. The new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything's gone. Right. Like
yep.
Okay. Other than that, I think that was it. Thanks. You guys do an amazing job with these updates, seriously. And I know that everyone says it, but I just wanted you to hear it from me.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks a lot.
Can we take all of South's PDARs with the patch? Yes. With A and S class, can you see changes that include A to S upgrade, S class boosting? S class boosting will be here in a form, yes. Are the orgs going to have a full wipe? They are, right, Smash? The whole thing is going to wipe, even the org names?
Yes, all of the orgs, all of the personal perks. I think that's a thing we didn't include and say yet, but all of the perks, everybody is going to be starting tomorrow with level 1 perk wise, and all of the perks are changed.
Cool. I think we are good. Promise that my OJ doesn't get wiped tomorrow. Okay, good. Anyone else have anything? I'm going to take like 2 more questions, then we're ending. So we get the server back up. I already answered about the faction times. We've put on a bunch of event people. Is there a way lifers can be temp released from prison to do chain gang? Yeah, we have a chain gang update, right? But is that in with this, I think? Smashy? Is that okay for this? I can't remember. Basically, you can bring people out in a bus and they're chained together on a link, and they're kind of like tethered to the bus, but you can go and chop them out, basically with a mission or something. It's going to be really cool. I don't know if it's good yet. We were working on like some of the physics with the rope.
It's still in production.
Yeah, it was meant to come out with the prison update.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're having some problems with the tethering looking good. Are there going to be addition to prison lifer system? There'll be more stuff with prison eventually. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been done on the allow list with the prisoners, right? Smaxing. I don't know if we've seen prison smuggling on allow list.
I don't think if anybody till today found a way to explode a prison.
Yeah, so I guess we can give you hints. The prison smuggling and heist requires someone on the outside and the inside, and is like the key to getting steroids on the server. So I'm just gonna say that, right? Because no one's figured it out yet. Like, there you go. There's your hint. Like, there's a full prison heist system that no one's done yet.
And it's connected to the gym system. You need certain gym progression.
Yep. There's a lot there actually that you guys have not figured out in the prison. That's what's kind of fun
There is
about the prison.
Whole hidden room that.
Yeah, you guys have not even gotten close to figuring out the prison yet. So yeah, DOC's about to pop off, but yeah, there's a whole drug in the prison, right? And like guns, like high tier guns, getting more of those. Prison. Just to be clear with you, prison. Also, the ability to win the faction stuff, a big part of that is not smuggling out of prison, it's smuggling stuff in the prison. So I'm just saying, you guys haven't figured out shit yet with the prison update. So I'm just being very clear. I'll take one more question, then we're done. Can dexterity gains being rim dodge? Just ask your question.
We can look into that rim deck.
I'll just make him up and ask, so then I can make fun of him. He muted himself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just asking if the dexterity thing can.
Okay, but what's your score like? Let's talk about scores, right? You are a pretty competitive player when it comes to opening houses. So what's your score, man?
Like, I mean, I'm not keeping track of the scores. I'm just saying, like, you know, we spend a lot of times doing the dexterity mini games, so you do it for a while. So I'm wondering if it's possible to get like an incentive, you know, when you do better.
Okay, but are you sure? Are you sure you're not gonna be gaining less?
No, wait, no. Why would I ask for it?
Are you sure? Just to be sure.
I'm positive.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be an interesting thing to implement to make it more incentive to, you know, do better on the mini games, just like a little thing.
We could do something like that. We can look at it.
And that's it.
Can
that's
we
all I had.
nerf Suarez?
What?
I mean, I'm gonna do a benchmark test with bipod, and then we will find the good values, right?
Oh, is Kavan saying he did better than you on the minigame? I'll invite him up.
Whoa, wait. We talking about what was your highest in the minigames for us?
I didn't keep track of my record. I don't know.
You know he sucks. Of course, when you don't keep track,
No.
you fucking suck because you're not even interested to know what you got because you already know.
I'm
you
not
suck.
writing down my
I'm in
records,
the
man.
150 club. Anyone else in the 150 club should get a bonus point. There should be, certain objectives you hit. You get 130. You only get a little bit because you suck. But if you get 150 club, we're talking at least like a 50-point bonus. I think is fair.
You want to know something?
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
You want to know something? This guy's the first guy to fucking brag about losing people in chase or fucking lockpicking a house. You goddamn well know if he's not sharing his score, it's doo-doo.
Exactly.
No, I it's like 140, bro. It's like 140 or something. I haven't really.
Yeah, you shouldn't get a bonus.
Okay, well, I mean, if you get 150, you should get a bonus. Is what I'm saying.
Right?
All right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, me and Zaki should get bonuses. I agree. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Suarez, then less. Okay. No, yeah.
Oh,
No problem.
there's a bingo card for this.
Well, Smacks is still a little concussed when I knocked him out in the boxing match. So let's not take anything he says too serious.
Okay, that's true. That's true. You did knock him out in the boxing. Okay.
Yeah,
I think
that's
all
true.
this stuff is going to be cool, guys. I can't wait for the patch. But I think unless we had a really good content here or question, I think we send everyone into the game because we got a mirror debate today. We got a coronation as well later this evening. There's a lot of stuff to handle today. So I think we ended there.
All right, thank you.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks for attending. Appreciate you all. Till next time.
So what's your guys' thoughts? Skeptical? Why? Ramen is finally over, yeah. PD always abuses shit eventually. It's always gonna be like, because there's just so much people in PD, so it's like there'd be 100 people if there's like 10 people that do it. So if you accidentally hit someone on the F4 and then did bad, hop out while shooting, yeah, you continue. You just don't. You drive off, bro. But you shouldn't be crap. I don't think they addressed the PD hop outs too. Yeah, I thought he said they have to catch you in a car, but he said if your car gets stolen, it will still get striked, which is like, what? They didn't address that, and they also didn't address well, they addressed the drug stuff, but if you have fake plates, they'll just take the fake plates off. No, it's still very confusing. So if I'm confused, the cops are gonna hack to hella dumb.